the depths of Chicago. Live and direct. It's the Rico No Suave Show. Starring Rico No Suave. With co-host Valerie Malesio. Featuring special guests every Saturday. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here is Rico No Suave. Ritmo.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome back to the show. It's your boy Rico No Suave here on the 1-2-1-2, ready to go with each and every one of you guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. Otra vez, tú sabes. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Man, I hope you guys are still eating leftovers, because I am. Right? And I love it, right? A little bit of ham, you know, a little bit of beans, potatoes, lamb, hog, moss, right? You name it, right? So I'm really happy, man. Really happy to be back with you guys here on another great Saturday, man. Today is 27 de noviembre, mi gente. And yes, we have made it to the end of November. So you already know it's December time, right? And, you know, we talked about this on our LOL a little bit. Snow Peak coming, right? And I know it's about to happen. I'm sorry. Yeah, I said on the LOL, but that is feel funny because we really don't want the snow to actually happen. No. So yes, and you already know what's about to happen. It's my girl Valerie Malesio in the building. What's up, Valerie? How's it going?
Up? Feliz sábado, mi gente. It is very nice actually outside today. I walked in without a big old coat. Yeah. So that's promising. Yeah. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was good.
It was good.
Good with, my mom's and, it was, my dad was there in spirit, it was good, man. It was good. We had a nice spread, and, cooked and all that great stuff, and, they didn't want me to overdo it. They didn't want me to overdo it. So I was like, okay, all right, I'll just bring a side dish.
Right.
How was yours?
You're like, quit trying to steal the show all the time.
Right. How was yours?
It was good. We had a lot of food, a lot of different types of food, which was kind of cool, So we got to taste a little bit, got some leftovers, had a little bit yesterday too that I actually didn't even get to the day before. So I'm like, I'll just try this tomorrow. Gotcha. So it was really, really good. Some family time, hanging in there. It's now, it's okay to press play on the Christmas music now. We got past Thanksgiving.
Oh, here we go.
People putting up their trees already. I haven't put up my tree yet, but it is on my to-do list.
I'm about to put my Charlie Brown up. My Charlie Brown.
Your Charlie Brown tree?
Yeah, it'll be
the needles falling. That's still one of my all-time favorite shows for Christmas.
I know. But we got a show coming. I mean, we have a great show today.
Yes,
right? We got a surprise for you guys as well. So, and of course, we got a lot of things going on, around town and also what's coming up as well, too. So, you already know, everybody, it's time to get into our social media. So, let's do our social media real quick so you guys can stay informed. Boom. www.thericonosuaveshow.com is where you'll find all of our information, all of our past videos. So, we're staying on top of things, everybody. We want to make sure that as soon as we finish this and you're not able to watch it, go to our Watch the Archives. You know what I mean? Watch previous videos, as well as you continue to listen to our music as well, too. And we have photos. We have photos all day, everybody.
And videos. You actually can go on that website and kind of grow with the show and see how we've evolved over the years.
Over the time,
it's very interesting to watch that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to make a few changes, of course, as far as to the website. So, how we actually started when we started in 2018 to where we're at right now, right? So, to be able to have that timeline of things.
That would be cool. The one camera to the whole, studio setup.
One camera got us going. Right.
Hey, man, nothing wrong with that one camera.
Man, thank you, Mevo, for starting us off. Right. All right, let's go to the next one. Here we go. Boom. You know it's our official account on Instagram. Make sure you're at Rico No Suave Show. Make sure you please go ahead and follow us there at Rico No Suave Show on Instagram. Here we go. The next
Some good stuff on there.
Always great. And we're back on Facebook. Yes, Rico No Suave Show. Make sure you please stay on top of things, and we're always staying on top of things for you, right? So make sure you continue to follow us and like us there. All right, here's the next one. We do have, yes, subscribe with us on YouTube. Rico No Suave Show. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, everybody. We are building our YouTube channel, so make sure you please go ahead and check out all of our great content out there as well. And last but not least, oh yeah, Mixcloud.com/Rico No Suave Show.
Mixcloud, baby.
Yes, all Mixcloud licensed version, right? So we are there on Mixcloud. Rico No Suave Show. You know, we are there as well too. All right, so that
before we get started, can I just say,
what's that?
Moise, we see you. We know you're here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Is that what he's saying?
We'll get to your birthday. Yeah, he's like, can you see us? Can you see the messages? We can see you. Let us get past our social media through our breaking news, and I promise we'll make sure we get to saying hello to everybody. Just hang in there. This is what happens
when you're good friends with somebody and they play a joke on you and get everybody else all confused and see what's going on. Moises, we already know. We gonna give you.
He's calling in the cavalry. Look at that. Yo, Tino, tell him to tell me happy birthday. He's not here.
Like he's
we
right
got you. We
like
got
he's
you.
Right in front of us.
I know.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
We got you, Moise. We got you.
All right, so that is our social media. So now we're going to get into our breaking news, everyone. So our breaking news is what's going on. And yeah, we got some good news. All right, here we go. So, this gentleman actually lost his life. His name is Ahmaud Arbery, and he was jogging down one of his normal routines, and there was 3 gentlemen that actually came out and stopped him and actually shot him and killed him. One of the things about, this that bothers me, it hurts.
One of the things.
It hurts to be able to say, hey, I'm actually running down the street just to have a nice jog, and then I have 3 gentlemen come to shoot me. And one of the things that I really don't like about this is because he was a black man, a man of color. It bothers me to be able to hear something like this of just going down the street and then trying to say, oh, he was up to something, because they also said that there was a break-in in someone's house, because it was, how they build houses, then people start taking kind of the metals and then go and sell them and things like that. Well, the gentleman was just not even close by there, and he runs there every single day. So number one thing is somebody was watching him. Number 2, if you knew that he was actually going to be on that routine, you were actually looking out to trying to protect your city or whatever that area is. And then he fought him to not die. And unfortunately, he lost his life to 3 Caucasians, 3 white men. And the problem with this is that we know that racism exists, but this was not called for. So the 3 men, of course, was caught. And 3 white men was found guilty of murder and the killing of Ahmaud Arbery. When you think about this, in regards to, you look at them in their suits, right? And you look at, how professional they could look and could be, because that's only an appearance, right? But at the same time, too, you could be professional enough or, kind of be cordial, courteous, and say, hey, are you okay? Well, everything's good? Yeah, I'm good. Keep going about your business. But they had the nerve to actually, because the racism was such in their blood, they had to stop a man and actually literally shoot him for no apparent reason. That's what bothers me in regards to someone can't even run down the street as a normal routine health-wise.
And that these men thought it was just okay.
And they thought it was okay just
that
to shoot
idea
them.
shouldn't even cross your mind.
Not at all.
You know? And
Not at all.
Yeah, let me go grab my gun and go and shoot this guy because I believe, this is what I think, because I.
Sure.
You know, that should not have even crossed his mind.
Not at all.
At all.
Not at all.
And I'm glad they were brought to justice.
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't bring his life back.
Right. So the judge, we're going to put both of those photos up. So the judge was looking at them like this.
Because they try to say self-defense. How do you say self-defense when you're the aggressor?
The judge already knew what he wanted to do when these guys, and number one thing that we have to think about nowadays is the unrest.
Right.
We have to think about the unrest because the unrest is tired of, how can I say this? And I want to say it correctly because, you know, Black Lives Matter is something, I'm not saying that I support it all the way because it's for Black and brown, Latinos, as well as
you can
people
support the
equal.
Narrative without supporting the
group. The group is that just gets me,
Yeah.
and I apologize if I get a little bit emotional with that because
The destruction of
what
it.
bothers me is that racism against Black and brown people has been going on for many years, right? But of course, the pandemic have showed a lot in regards to racism when it came out. Of course, you know, when Trump was in office, you know, a lot of things, you know, a lot more stuff had actually came up. The pandemic didn't help as well too because people were just tired of staying at home. But stuff like this right here should be automatic. When we actually have Black on Black crime or Latino on Latino crime or Black on Latino crime or minority on minority crime, it's an automatic you're going to jail. Automatic.
hands down. No
Rittenhouse, what we talked about, off just like that by killing white on white crime, but someone of a white culture was supporting Black Lives Matter, went to go and attack, but then it was white on white crime. And you know what I've heard? Oh, it's okay. He killed another white man. I don't think that it's okay because he killed someone. And I don't think that it's okay that he can walk down the street with an AK-47, whatever he has. Think about this. A Black or Latino kills a white man running down the street. 3 of them. What you think is going to happen? A Latino does it. What do you think is going to happen? Jail time, automatically, execution. That's what we're looking for. I feel that
if
this
they
is really
even make
good.
it that far, I mean,
exactly.
That's even if they get arrested. I mean,
and what happens to them after
based
that?
Based on the trend, that's not likely to happen.
Bingo.
They would probably be taken care of before, and quote unquote, taken care of. Oh, we handled that before they even got to a courtroom.
I have to say that I'm happy about this.
I'm glad.
I'm happy about this, and I'm happy that the family has justice.
You should be able to jog outside without any issues.
Without any issues.
Come on.
What I will tell you is this for my Latino and black friends and my family. You know, when George Floyd passed away and they granted the family so much money and they went out to celebrate and party like rock stars. I'm not with that because the money should be a cause towards a cause of racism and of movement. I understand the celebration of justice. Totally understand that. It's like when Rodney King got beat down and got all that money. Next thing you know, he had drugs and next thing he was dead.
Let's just give them,
You talk about the narrative, right? The narrative, what you just said, understanding that hopefully that they do find justice in regards to this. And then they use it in a way of saying, hey, we need to speak up and move forward. So rest in peace, my man, Ahmaud Arbery, and justice have been served. So, woo! All right. So I got my man next to me.
Yes.
I got my guy next to me. You know, we done an event together, right? And I've known him for quite some time.
Nice.
This guy goes back in the day of DJing for plenty of clubs, but started off at a young age. This gentleman is about music. This gentleman, his passion is all about music. His professionalism is about music, but he touches the world with his style of music. And I love him. I love this guy. When I actually was doing something at the Vinyl Affair with him, with Johnny Blas, man, we had such a great, Numo Dan and DJ Dave C. We had such a blast. And this guy, we're about to talk about his life. I want you guys to stand up, put your headphones on, put it on one ear and off on the other. Because my man, DJ The Nay Trixx, is in the building. Yes. What's up, Papa?
¿Qué pasa, Papa? How you doing?
Aquí. Welcome to the show, man.
Hey, thank you for having me, man. I'm excited. I'm happy to be here.
Man, it's such a blessing to have you here with us, man. And I have to say, we are ready to get right into your journey.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Let's talk about how you got started as a DJ.
Oh, man. So I'm the youngest of a whole bunch of kids.
Too many to count.
Yeah,
huh?
too many. I mean, 5 sisters, for sure. And then 2 brothers. There was 8 of us.
Wow.
And so I was the one that kind of had the music bug, but I didn't know how to express it. I tried different things like harmonica, and I did want to get drums, but that wasn't going to go well. Typical Puerto Rican household. My mother was not about to have that. So anyway, when I was very young, probably 11 years old, back in the 80s, my sisters had a kind of like a house party. And that's when I first seen a DJ play at a house party back in the 80s.
Yes, sir.
They went to high school at the time, and I was in grammar school, and I got to see someone with turntables and a mixer in front of me do it live. And from that moment on, I was hooked.
Wow.
That's how it started for me, yeah.
So
How old were you at that time?
exactly.
I was probably 11,
11,
maybe 12 years old.
That's such an awesome age too.
Yeah.
Because you're just taking it all in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so as a result of that, I said, that's what I want to do. So I started buying records, whatever money I could scrounge up and stuff. And my sister's kind of like, here, you could have these old disco records. And so I started collecting records. And then when I was about 14 years old, I started, getting like odd jobs. My first job was Taco Bell.
That's all. Oh, man, I remember those days.
I burned my leg up in that place.
Oh, wow.
That water comes out out the sink hot. But working those jobs, I managed to get equipment, practice, and.
What was your first equipment? What was your?
Oh man, I had garbage turntables. Like I didn't know that I needed pitch. Speed adjustment on a turntable. I thought any turntable would work. So I took my brother's turntable and then I realized, wait up, this song's going too slow. I need to speed it up somehow. So I didn't realize that, you needed pitch, speed adjustment and all that. And then when I finally realized, I managed to get one, I can't even remember what kind it was. And then my friend down the block, he had the other one. and so we put our equipment together and then we just started practicing.
Yeah.
And I was doing that my teenage years,
Do you remember your very first DJ experience, with the first party you ever DJ? Was it for family or for friends or where you were I could really do this,
Right.
It was for family. It was a friend of the family, and I think we didn't even get paid for it. I just think we did it for free just to get practice and exposure. It was not my family. It was my partner who had the other turntable. It was one of his family members, and we did it, and at that time we practiced enough that we actually sounded pretty good on this crappy equipment.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how was the house parties? We go back, sometimes kid and play, So what was the music like? What was the genre of music that you were playing at the house party?
We were playing house music.
Okay.
I kind of messed up one time and decided to play freestyle at a house party. And they were like, oh, no, you can't do that here. So yeah, it was kind of embarrassing, but you know, those are the things you learn along the way. You know, and this is the north side of Chicago. You can't really do that on the north side. On the south side, you can play freestyle all day.
Right.
You know, but being where I was from is like, no, we don't like that here. So yeah, I pretty much after that, everything was just house music. You know, the high energy and like the disco had died out by the time I was already in it, but it was kind of still playing on the radio. You know.
Yeah.
And
So
I still had to know it.
When you first started, what was your first DJ name? Do you remember?
Oh, that's a good question. You got me there. Oh my God. My first DJ name was Nasty Nay.
Nasty Nay.
Oh!
And you know what? I saved my flyers. I have a scrapbook of about 40 flyers in there.
Wow.
From all over, you know, at that time we had a lot of teen dance clubs.
Yeah.
You know, like Logan Square Auditorium, we were doing events at Northwest Hall, Centrum, Alcatrazz, just a whole Schwinn Hall. Even some of the high schools had dances at the time, like Kellen Park.
Oh, of course.
You know, they really don't have a lot of the teen clubs anymore like they used to, huh?
No,
Nowadays.
that was
That's
years ago.
During our times, no, of course
We
not.
had fun.
It was a good time.
I love
really
the time we grew up because that was great.
Yeah, so that was my first DJ name, and that's the name that I went by for many years until later on, as I got older, I changed it because, you know, Nasty Nay just didn't. You know, I had kids. My kids calling me Daddy Nasty.
My daddy, DJ Nasty Nay.
So yeah, you know, later on I changed it. I was like, you know, and I called myself Nay Trixx. This was before the Matrix movies and all that. And yeah, so I went with it, and I'm using it to this day.
My man. We're going to go to some comments real quick. Hello, Patty Escobar. What's going on? How's it going? We got Daisy checking in. Hello.
Daisy.
Said Rico and Valerie sold over the leftovers for Christmas. Happy to see you. Hope you had a great holiday as well. Thank you so much. We got Eileen Love, Lady in Red. Yes, hi, Eileen. How's it going? And then, of course, we got my man, hey, Moises Garcia. Feliz cumpleaños, papa. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, Moises. Yes, and then, of course, he's calling out for Tino. What's up? If you're checking in, what's up, Tino? How's it going, papa? All right, we got
Violetta
now. Gutierrez. Yes, we got Violetta. Is Violetta checking in?
She is.
What's up,
it's not a show without
Violetta?
her. Vicky Camilo Simmons.
Hey,
thank you for
Vicky.
joining us.
How are
actually,
you?
Vicky has a question. What was the favorite gig that he's ever done? Do you have like one particular that stands out?
Yes, I actually do. So it was my nephew's wedding. My nephew Mark, his wedding, and basically they dressed up as like in Halloween costume. So my nephew Mark was Frankenstein, and his wife was the Lady of the Bride, and this was their wedding. And the music they wanted was 70s, 80s, and 90s. And nobody told me nothing about dollar dance or anything. They just said, "Hey, just play this type of music, and just do whatever you want." They just gave me a blank canvas.
Wow.
And that was one of the most memorable weddings ever. I mean, it was the talk of the family for weeks after that happened.
Wow, that's awesome.
So there was
that's awesome.
Frankenstein.
Yeah,
the bride of Frankenstein?
The whole bridal party were all dressed up in Halloween costumes.
Wow, that's cool.
That's cool. That is really cool. I like that.
Was that towards Halloween? Was that Halloween, or was that actually just an off, like
it was
summer?
It was in September, I believe. That it happened, and
that's fall.
Yeah, it was at my sister's house. It was in the backyard, and they just said, as long as you keep it to this genre of music, we don't care. Nobody bothered me with requests or dollar dances. It wasn't traditional in that aspect of a wedding, but I had so much music to mess with.
Yeah.
And then I was playing original stuff. I was playing remix stuff. So it just, that was probably one of my favorite events I've ever.
That sounds like so
stuff,
much fun.
Man. That's awesome. You know, it's funny because, you know, what's up, Ernesto Gonzalez? How are you, Papa? Thank
we
you so
gotta
much
give
for
a
the
shout out to Rhonda.
We got Rhonda
from Fort Worth, Texas. Thanks for
Salud,
joining us.
man. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate this. Much love. So, being a DJ over time, from practicing and then actually, for an event, sometimes we get nervous, right? We get nervous because we don't know how people are going to react, right? And then all of a sudden we're like, bam, I got it, right? How many more after that events did you do? Did you do events during high school as well, for the high school or for like private parties?
When I was in high school, I wasn't DJing as much. After high school is when I started really doing a lot of mobiles and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Upgrading your equipment takes a lot of money. Digging in the crates. What was your favorite record store growing up?
Come on, everybody knows this. Well, I mean, I had several options. I had Imports also.
Okay.
That place has been closed for years, but Gramophone was always the spot.
All day, man. All day.
It was always the spot.
Yeah. Moy. What's my man? Yeah, Moy, right?
Andy Moy, yeah.
Andy Moy, right?
Andy,
right?
yeah.
You still keep in contact with Andy Moy?
He's a friend.
Yeah.
He plays guitar now, man.
Yeah, I know. I saw.
I heard stories of him having like a truck full of like crates of records that just original copies. He's probably still has them too.
I'm sure he does, man. Andy,
Well, hopefully
big
he
shout out
has
to
a
Andy.
big garage sale soon.
Yeah,
People
right.
gonna pick them all up.
Man, I don't know. Those things cost money. I
They
mean,
do.
those. Oh man, when I used to go to Gramophone. So of course, they. Did you ever play like DJ GK Jess? He played at Gramophone as well too.
Yeah, they
Did
used
you
to have
Did you
DJs
play at
there.
Gramophone as well? Did you get a chance to play up there as well? Because I like the way they rotated the DJs. What was there, but I figure I asked that question because I know you guys, that's legends, man. You tend to play a spot here and there.
All of us have, like you said, we could end up anywhere.
Yeah,
Right.
So
exactly.
that could totally happen.
Yeah.
It still could because they still bring people in. So
Yeah, they still got Gramophone up on Clark, as well. Yeah.
So it could still happen.
So during that time, of growing up, as far as after your first club that you DJ'd at, talk to me about that.
That would be Eddie Rockets, bro.
Wow, Eddie Rockets.
Yeah. Man, that sound system in there was incredible for the time. And I actually auditioned there. And the guy that got me the audition, I have to drop his name. I don't know if you've heard of him. His name is Tony Lala Estrada. They call him Jack.
Tony Lala. Yeah, of course his name floats all the way. Yeah, I mean, through DJs you hear about Tony Lala.
Yeah. They call his nickname is Jap.
Jap, okay.
But anyway, Tony got me in, and he got me the audition. And the guy that was the manager at the time, he loved what I did.
Yeah.
But he said that. For Eddie Rockets, what I was playing was not good, but he gave me a spot at the basement level Eddie Rockets.
So
at the time, it was called Poets.
Okay. Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
so I had a residency there.
Dang.
This is years
So
ago.
at my age.
Yeah, this is years ago.
I remember this is just a
The
tad
basement.
bit before me, but didn't Eddie Rockets changed its name to something else?
Oh,
right?
now it's called.
No.
I think it's called Detention now. It's
Well,
in the same
I'm
building.
talking back then. Even it went from Eddie Rockets to I can't remember what it changed its name to. Was that the Warehouse?
No. Warehouse has always been the Warehouse.
Eddie Rockets is on like Division and State.
Yeah.
So like 5 West
It-
Division.
I've got to look. Now I'm gonna have to look it up after the show. But I remember it went from Eddie Rockets to something else.
Yeah.
And whatever that second club it was the one that we got into because I
So
was still
you're
too
talking
young.
about.
I was still too
You're
young
talking
for
about
Eddie
where
Rockets.
Evil Olive used to be at, because that's on a corner. You're talking about Division on a corner there. Is where Eddie Rockets used to be, or was it more on Division?
It was near Division and State.
Division and State.
Yeah.
Oh, why am I thinking where all the clubs are at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On that strip.
I'm sorry. On the strip. Yeah, I'm thinking more where Evil Olive. I don't know why I'm thinking that. Okay, got it.
After the show, I'm gonna look it up.
That's
now, 'cause I
hot.
don't
Yeah,
remember
with
the name of
muggers
it.
and all of that.
Yeah,
Is that?
yeah,
Yeah.
all that
Okay. All right, we're gonna go to a few comments, man. So we do have Vicky says, "What was your biggest promotional event were you ready for it, and how did it make you feel?
Great question,
That's a
Vicky.
really good question. Yeah.
Okay. And this is actually goes back. I mean, I can think of two. One as older, as like me now, and then one when I was younger. Basically, when I was younger, the biggest events that I was doing was Centrum Hall, and at that time we were having like Cool Rock Steady performing, Fast Steady.
Steady.
They sometimes would bring in like some of the freestyle acts like Coro from New York. So I did an event that I think it was Cool Rock and just a lot of the house legends when I was younger. And then older, maybe a couple of years ago, I played a New Year's Eve party with Mario Smokin' Diaz, Kenny Jason, I think Mickey Mixon Oliver was there. And Curtis McLean was performing, which is Mr. Move Your Body. That's my
Move Your Body.
That's my guy, man. Sweet. That's a sweet dude right there.
Yeah.
And I think he was on stage with Harry Dennis, and so that that was one of the big ones also.
Man,
Wow.
that's awesome, man. Being around, I call them legends because you're a legend as well too, and in Chicago, man.
Thank you very much. I don't think that yet, but I'm on my way to try to at least keep that going. You know what I mean?
I feel 20 plus years, you're a legend to us that listens to
I'm like this.
DJ,
I'm like,
right?
wow.
To DJs, right?
He's
I mean,
throwing
because
out,
the reason why I say that, I believe you, Numo Dan, DJ Jess, Tony Techniques, all of you guys that I know that has been doing this for quite some time, over 20 years, you guys are a legend because you guys, I wouldn't just say witness it, but you felt the music and you
you were
lived
there.
the music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And more, Andy, all you guys that actually provided music for us to be able to play with our 15-inch speakers going down Clark Street or Fullerton or wherever we're playing, your mixes, right? Because you guys had mixes as well too. So it's an honor. It's an honor to be able to say that, number one, but also to be able to understand how you guys felt being around them. What was your kind of like surreal moments, as Valerie would say? What would be your surreal moments of how do you feel when you were actually surrounded by those guys and that motivation? What was that like?
So I think that's coming now because of the whole music production and putting the tracks out.
Yes.
That I'm finding myself in in some of these circles, and it is surreal that this kind of just started out as just a teenager with a dream.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's possible.
Yeah.
I believe it's totally possible.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. And if you could live it and you can think it and you have passion for it, you could make it.
Man, you can make it.
You can make it.
That's what I love about you, bro.
Man,
Man,
if you have a passion for it, you can make it.
You
See?
can make it.
Another T-shirt.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Dave know. He's got a T-shirt business.
I know.
Hey, Dave, 10%.
Right. Rico No Suave Show.
We want our 10%.
Yeah, let's use that code, please. Right. We got Daisy 24. She's actually saying, hey, what was one song? And this is one of the things that DJs don't like to hear, but I'm sure they do.
Right.
What was one song you hate playing over and over again, but it's most requested?
Man, I don't want to really say because then that's gonna insult the person that did it.
Well, no, that just means
a lot
you're.
of songs.
Yeah, I mean, because that could just mean you're. I mean, there's songs that I actually like, but I just get tired of hearing them over and over again.
So
something you don't like them. You
Suavemente.
Yeah,
Elvis Crespo.
they
Everywhere you
overdid
go,
that one.
you listen to that song, and everybody's like, "Man, I'm tired of hearing that song."
Right.
Right?
Yeah. You
But
just
you
get
can't
tired of
hate,
it.
you can't hate the DJ, right?
Right.
You know, it's
It's a
the
good
song,
song.
right? So, is there a specific song that you hear all the time that just that you're like, "Man, I just played this like a few hours ago," right? And there's so many songs though too.
Right.
In the circles, the song that gets the most, I guess, like attention for like, that song is Yolanda.
Yolanda's fresh.
and I like the song, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And I've got it on vinyl and I've played it probably once or twice. You know, but that's the song that has the reputation of,
I can see that.
don't tell me to play that
I
one.
can, I can see that.
too.
Totally see that.
I mean,
They
every
did-
time
they
I go
did
to a
play it a
club,
lot.
I hear it. Yeah, I hear it. And of course, there's some young lady that's named Yolanda. That's me. He's singing too, right? And you know, it's all about the dancer, right?
That's my jam.
Yeah, the DJs, some of them, they make fun like, oh, if he plays Yolanda, I'm leaving this event.
Right.
I'm walking
I'm
right out
out
of
here.
Hey, do you know a DJ that you know that's gonna play that song?
God.
But it's like a double-edged sword, right? Because if you don't play it, then you're
Right.
like, he didn't even play Yolanda. What kind of DJ is that?
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you have the other ones that are like, come on, you can't get more creative than playing Yolanda. You know, so I mean,
Right.
Yeah, you know.
you can't win, can't lose on that one. That was a good question, by the way.
That is. And you can't get away from it. You know, I did start with old school house music and like the high energy and stuff, but I embraced the new stuff. And you got to change things. You can't just do
Right.
the same thing over and over again. You got to give people something different to listen to. You know?
Right. And that's the one thing that I love about how DJs, when you guys are actually, I'm always about discovering new music. When I heard The Bomb for the first time by Kashmir, or I'm sorry, Daje, when I heard that, man, I must have played that. That's when I had a 79 Chevy Malibu classic.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
And I had the pop speakers, right? And I have to say, because of Swap Meet, we had the speakers that you needed, right?
Did you have the styrofoam in your trunk and everything?
Yeah, I had that too. Right, I had that too. But when you played that song, we were like, oh my God. And it was from a mixtape, from Fat Mike, right? And Fat Mike, I had that cassette tape. When I was playing it, I pulled right in front of gramophone. I'll never forget it. I turned that thing up. Dun, dun. The whole block was dancing. That was the times of house music that you appreciated, of everybody just in the open, just having a great time dancing. And I'm like, man,
You
to
could
these
too, because
DJs,
if you
I
drove
love it.
down the street, somebody would start dancing.
Somebody.
It didn't matter. Bus stop, whatever they're at, on the corner waiting to cross the street. They hear the music. They were dancing. Oh, yeah, for real, girl? Uh-huh. Yeah, let's cross the
DJs
street.
like yourself, when you discover music, change the motive of someone's bad day to a good day.
Absolutely.
And I think for you guys, you have this unique way of playing music. And it's also crazy because we're going to get into the weather report real quick. But, one thing about your style versus DJ Dave C versus Numo Dan versus Tony Techniques, you guys have a certain style that you can tell that, oh, that's my mix you're playing. Right off the back. And it's so crazy because I wouldn't know the difference, but I really wouldn't know the difference. Like I would know the difference that, hey, I remember he played that song because I got his whole tape, right? And I know what's coming up next. Oh yeah, that was my man. Yeah, Nay Trixx, that was him. DJ they say, oh, I got his tape as well too.
Right.
I would know that. But if you was to play the cassettes and I didn't know who it was, it would be like, who is this? Right? And then all of a sudden, Nay Trixx will probably come in and say, oh yeah, that's my mix. Thanks for playing it, bro. It's so unique how you guys understand music because you're so deep into it and you know your own mixes. That's so cool.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
so cool.
I can decipher or hear a mix and hear a blend and know if it's me or not.
That's hot.
Yeah.
That's hot, dude.
It's happened.
Yeah.
I've actually heard people playing my stuff driving down the street.
Yeah.
Like, hey, that's me. I'm going to go to some comments. So we have Mark Jackson checking in.
All right, Mark.
Saying, what's up, Rico Valerie? Hey.
What's up?
Numo Dan checked in, said, The Nay Trixx, ¿qué pasa?
¿Qué pasa, Numo?
And then he says that he's playing Yolanda. He's playing Yolanda right
That's
now.
Numo Dan for you right there. That's Numo Dan for you right now.
Mark Jackson also says Brighter Days by Kashmir.
Yes.
That's still a hit.
Big shout out to First Last saying nice.
Woo!
Nice. What's up, First Last? How's it going? Thank you so much for tuning in. Daisy Rivera said something as well. Then she said, I had a Riviera with the sun roof Oh, she had a Riviera. Oh man, yeah, the old school Riviera.
Girl, you had the
with
riff,
the sunroof blasting, all the house music. Best time ever, man. I tell you, that is awesome.
It is. Like, I love the generation we grew up in.
Yep.
I mean, you don't get to see. Well, I'm sure you somewhat, but it's just different. It was just a different vibe at that time.
We always said, we always give thanks to the DJs because you guys saved our lives.
Last night, a DJ saved my life.
All day, you guys, and that's true. That's such a true song, right? Because without you guys with music, it was like, I don't know where our lives would be without you guys. And of course, the artists that you're complimenting and playing. But then you guys also come up with your own music. And you also produce your own music. We'll talk about it. We're here with my man, Nay Trixx.
Nay Trixx.
Having a good time?
Oh, bro, I'm having a wonderful time.
We love you here, bro. We love that you're here with us. All right, so let's get to this next question. So, over time, we talk about, like the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, right? And, we go through those phases, and I'm so happy to be a part of that journey. As a DJ, though, what did it feel like from going from playing from vinyl to cassette to tapes to CD into MP3s?
So basically, it's all the same thing, really. You just kind of got to get used to, like, if you are a vinyl DJ and then you have to play on CD players, well, then you just got to kind of just get used to how they work.
Yeah.
Because they're different than vinyl. Vinyl, you use the needle and you pop it on the record. CD players don't have that. You just throw a CD in there.
Right.
Did you think the transition was easy?
I never transitioned at the time. I stayed with vinyl, and I waited until Serato came out, in which I could just use vinyl, 2 records and play MP3s off the program.
Oh, wow.
So I never transitioned into CD players when CD players were out in clubs, because at the time I didn't have a residency. So I was just pretty much a bedroom DJ raising kids. At that time, when CDs were took over the club scene.
Sure.
It wasn't until later on that I got a pair. But it's the same thing. To me, I say like this: if you're used to DJing on turntables, if you got that experience with turntables, you can transition to CD players or controllers or anything easily.
Wow.
I just feel like there was a certain type of energy and just wow factor in watching somebody with vinyl, though.
Yes.
With the way they would scratch and mix and just blend everything together, the transition going from one track to one record to the other.
Yes.
You would see them, hit that, and then we go to the next song.
Yeah.
It was just you could sit there and just watch them, and it was just like wow.
Right.
Yeah, and I feel like with the digital stuff, you don't get to experience. You don't get to have the experience with the DJ.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can watch them, but it's just not the same movement. I don't know.
As a DJ, as yourself, that transition, when I hear from going from, because I'm so used to, you said the bedroom, right? Because I used to be in the bedroom recording WGCI or any of the WBMX and all of those, and I couldn't wait for the DJ to stay quiet because I wanted to hear the whole song. I just wanted to create my own mix, right? But one of the things is that transition when we go from vinyl, right, where my parents used to play vinyl, right, and then we go into cassette tapes where we had the Walkman. Right, and then we go to the CDs where you had the Walkman with the CDs, and then you had a CD player in your car, or you had a cassette tape in your car, or even 8-track back then, but that was my parents. But when it came from those transition, I was thinking from a DJ standpoint, man, it's like learning a new technology, right? It's like, how do I blend? How do I start making this work? With saying, hey, I got this new technology now. How am I going to blend that in? And also with cassette tapes, how am I going to pop in the tape, rewind it, or bring it forward and play it at the right time? It's like using a needle, but now you just got tape, right? So did you ever feel that way, or have you ever had experience a DJ run into those problems?
So when it comes to cassettes, we would just use them to record the radio and then stop, pause, and then kind of make our own edits, for radio mixing, but But I've never seen cassettes actually used in an event.
Right.
No?
I've never seen anybody
I've
use
never
a
seen
cassette.
that either.
You never seen that?
No.
That's
You have?
happened.
Wow, I seen it one time though.
It's happened, and usually it happens because the person just made the song out of their house, and it's a new thing, so they have a copy on cassette.
Yes,
Oh, gotcha.
yes.
And then they would play it in the club, and then
Yep.
they would kind of mix out of it.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
the only time
Yeah.
I've ever heard of cassettes being used.
That
in
makes
that
sense.
aspect.
Got
Yeah.
it. Yeah, that would make sense.
You know, CD players again. You know, like right now. I mean, I don't want to bash Pioneer, but their CD players are all plastic. I like things that are well built. I don't have, you know, this right here, my little controller. It's not even a Pioneer. It's a Vestax. And the reason the reason I have that one is because it's all metal.
Yeah.
And I just love things that are well built. If it's plastic, it just doesn't feel professional to me.
Yeah,
I
it
don't know.
feels cheap.
You're absolutely right.
You feel like you're gonna break it?
Well, not even.
I
that.
can't give
think
it my all. I feel like I'm gonna break it.
I
You
think
know-
it's just a feeling,
You know,
right?
yeah, I've actually played on some Pioneer CD players, and you know, like I'm used to turntables and records so much that like when I let it go, it's gonna be bam right there on the spot where I throw it in at. But sometimes on some of these CD players, like the Pioneers, they just don't have that drop of a dime type of thing where you throw it in, and you know, it's just I don't know, they just don't feel right to me.
Yeah.
I never got into them.
It's
you know?
just
So your chemistry is not there with Pioneer then. You know, you got to build that relationship. So when you're
I've got
using,
several other mixers, you know, but their CD players are just, and then they're very expensive, you know. So I do have some CD players, but I got an off-brand. I got some Techniques, old school CD players that the platters actually spin.
Yeah, that's hot.
That's what I like.
That's hot.
I love that.
you know, the thing is that I love when DJs and you guys put things together from like when you guys are blending and when you're mixing, right? Because it just feels like you guys are in a groove and you're just like so focused in that zone. Have you ever been in a zone where, and we talked about the transformation of, you know, how things got to MP3s. Are you still, I shouldn't even ask that question. MP3s, it's just easier to use in regards to music that you want to use. The type of software that you guys actually use for mixing, what is the type of software you guys use?
I use Serato.
Serato? Okay.
But you could use Rekordbox. You know, that's the Pioneer compatible. It's similar to Serato. It's just Pioneer's version of Serato. And then you also have like Virtual DJ, which is an open source program that you could use with multiple different controllers.
Okay.
And those are like the three that I'm aware of. But you also have Tractor, which Tractor leans more towards a controllerism. Controllerism is basically you remix a track right on the fly, right there in front of everybody.
Oh, wow.
That's a different type of DJing, controllerism.
Yeah.
You know, just like turntablism is the tricks and the scratching and all that. Well, controllerism is the actual remixing of a song
like
there.
right
live.
in front of you.
Right in
yeah,
front
see,
of you.
that's
That's-
something maybe
wow.
that's another wow factor, you know?
Yeah.
The cool thing about technology is that, you know, you don't have to lug as many crates around anymore.
Yeah.
And you have access to so much music.
Yeah.
Yes, on hard
So you
drives,
don't have
yes.
to, you know, that worry of being able to find a song on the spot if somebody asks for something.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. Do you ever miss, like, I'm sure you still go and do this as well, too. Do you ever miss going to Gramophone and not have to worry about downloading music or things like that? Because I know now you guys have subscription that music from all over, and actually from the UK, and you can just go ahead and download the MP3s. But back then it wasn't like that. Like if you wanted to actually get a vinyl, you had to order it and then get imports, right? Like get it imported and stuff like that. Do you ever miss those times?
So back then I was in a record pool.
Okay.
It was called IRS Let's Dance Record Pool, and it was, you know, for nightclub DJs and stuff. I had a residency at the time, and you basically pay, at the time I got into it, it was like $70 a month, and you get like the equivalent of a half a crate of records of new stuff.
Wow.
And it was, I mean, hip-hop, Euro, and some good dance music.
Yes.
By the time I left that record pool, I was about $130 a month, and I was getting, you know, this was all new test pressing stuff too. And you get a feedback on every record, and you have to kind of like write what you thought of the song and your opinion, and then you turn in your feedbacks. The following month, you get your records.
That's cool.
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
I mean, that's
hot.
you know, a lot of DJs are part of record pools back then. Now they're called MP3 pools. So you pay your
Same
subscription,
thing. Okay.
and then you get all their catalog of MP3s.
Do you still get surveyed on them, like your feedback?
On some MP3 pools, they do want you to give feedback. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's so cool,
That's
man.
awesome.
That's really good, man, because it's like, I'm like, man, how do they be coming up with all of this music? But it's part of your profession. It's like you getting certified to actually survey other people's music.
Right.
But also you're always discovering. It's like us watching TV shows, right? And watching talk shows and like, man, oh man, that's cool. I like the way they do it. It's doing your homework, right? And preparing. Have you ever had, besides the music you got, we're about to get to that too. I'm excited. Have you ever heard a song, a beat, and it was like,
Oh, absolutely. It happens all the time. To this day,
I gotta play this.
To this day, it's
Man.
still. Yeah, to this day.
Have you heard? Okay, so name one instance that you actually played that was like if you can name one right now that you know that you actually played, you was like, man, I got this song, and as soon as I got it, I played it right away.
Oh, I mean, Block and Crown, they're great producers. Sheesh, I mean, DJ Mess, Patrick Wayne and 3J, they do some great stuff.
Nice.
I actually was playing some of their stuff before I even got to know those guys and did stuff with them,
Oh, wow. Okay. So, because sometimes when you're hearing like certain music, and I know when I discover music, I'm like, oh man, I'm about to blast this in my car, right? And when you hear it right away, have you ever played one of those songs at a club or at an event or even online, and people was like, oh, that is banging?
I mean, yeah. When I play though, I do look at the crowd and see the reaction, but sometimes I gotta just focus on what I'm doing. So I don't get to really absorb what they did.
Right.
Which is sometimes that's the bad part about it, is that you're up there working and everybody's having a good time.
Yeah.
And you don't get to enjoy it as much, but you do get to enjoy it in a way of like, I'm playing this for them, and they're feeling it. So yeah.
The zone that you guys get into, man, and I have to, big shout out to, I know that when I'm seeing like my guys, Numo Dan, DJ Dave C, you, Jazz, Tony Techniques, and I see that you guys are like focusing, I'm like, man, I wonder if they're having fun, right? I wonder if you guys are, because I know you're focusing, right? But then you got those DJs like Frankie Knuckles, and you have those guys like DJ Ronnie Rod and all those guys, Harris. And when they're playing, they getting it in. Like they just feeling it because they know that song that's coming up is one of their favorites, but they know that people are going to vibe with them as well too. You get in the zone a lot as well?
I seen myself do that one time. It was kind of embarrassing. You're dancing up there looking like a fool. I'm not that kind of person that over exaggerates it and just. I mean, I don't want to name names, but there's some people that kind of take it overboard. It's just chill, man. Just play the music. All the theatrics and all that. I mean,
knocking
teach
over
his own.
Knocking over turntables, and knocking down lights,
jumping off the stage. Put me back.
Twisting knobs completely off the mixer. Like, chill, man. I did that one time, dude, and I watched the video after that. I was like, oh, I had too much. I shouldn't have had those beers.
Right. He's like, no more beers while I'm working. Nope. Not doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's a lot that's coming up, and we're getting close. We're at 12:53 already. So,
wow.
One of the things that I do appreciate as far as what you've done, and you've came out with tracks, you and DJ Dave C has came out with tracks when it comes to producing and coming up with beats. Before, was there? No, there was Beat Machines back in the day.
Absolutely. Oh yeah,
Beat Machines back in the day as well.
Those
but technology has changed over time in regards to how beats are actually being presented to be able to, make music. Now that you're making music, how long have you been making music now?
Ooh, so I've started. So basically, I started buying equipment back in the mid 90s, studio equipment.
Sure.
Beat machines, like what you said.
Yep.
And I completed my home studio in around 2000. And it took me several years to learn all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And then DAWs, like Pro Tools, Ableton, they came out a little bit later for home computer use, like about 2004, 2005. Okay. So I had to learn all this stuff. Then around 2004, 2005, I got a desktop with software. So now I had to learn that.
Yeah.
And, I was releasing tracks around 2008 with other artists.
Okay.
They just didn't make as much noise as like the ones I just released with Dave, over the summer.
Yeah.
But I've been doing this for a while, since 2000. Basically, I just did it, the way that I knew how to do it. Buy the equipment, learn how to use it, and then try to figure it out. And you know what? And I say this all the time. This is what I did. I just learned the equipment, and like YouTube, when YouTube came out, it helped me tweak everything that I did learn. And I always had kind of like the gift of being able to put music together. I never had an issue with putting things together, but I always had an issue with making things sound good together. Mm-hmm. So it's the sound quality thing that when you put music together, a lot of people don't understand that. I think anybody really has the capability of putting a good track together.
Yeah.
But to make it sound good is a whole other animal.
Totally different.
Well,
and
then
I
you
think
have to
that's
learn all about, the layering and how to get that stuff done. And, when Pro Tools and all that stuff came out, you remember Guitar Center used to have those workshops.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where they would teach you how to use.
I went to some.
Did you?
Yes.
Yeah, those workshops.
And that was like before YouTube, right? Like when they had those. So like they would, you can go in there and learn how to use the software you just bought. Right. But it was still trial and error. Trying to figure all that out. Why does that track sound like this on the radio? And you know what? Let me add another layer on top of it. Like you don't understand those things until you get behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And then with YouTube, you have a lot of people on there that have a channel that are famous, that have made millions doing music, and they go on and give you their techniques and their tricks and their how-tos of how they did this and how they did that.
That brainstorming.
And you know what, to be honest with you, that really helped me a lot, especially with the sound quality aspect, because my music was always lacking that I would joke around like, hey, they play one of my tracks and blow the speakers from the club. Because the recordings just were not properly done.
Sure.
And that was just things I learned along the way. Those lo cantazo te enseña, and that was one of those cantazos that I had to learn from. It's like I can't keep making music that doesn't sound good together. I gotta go back to the drawing board and really figure this part out.
Yeah. That's good, man. That's awesome, bro. There's a lot of things that you have done, and there's a lot of things that you have accomplished over many years as a DJ. And one of the things is that what I appreciate you as a DJ is you stuck with it. You never gave up, but you stuck with it to become a legend, to be able to feel what other legends feel like when they're playing their music, right? And you as a DJ has appreciated the 80s, the 90s, and all that great house music, because house music's all night long, right? And one thing that I will say in regards to, you as a human being, you're cool, number one. You cool, right? Because when we had a great time at the Vinyl Affair, man, that was the best time ever, dude. I mean, we had such a blast. But it comes with that persona, that personality, to be able to say, man, I'm passionate about this. I love what I do, and I'm loving it. And when you're clapping your hands and you know that everybody's having a great time, that's a DJ, right? Yes. That's a DJ. But you live through those moments. That's why I have a shirt for you. Oh, hey. That's why I have a shirt for you, Papa, right? And one of the things about this shirt is your accomplishments, your milestones, and everything you have accomplished for over the 20 years that you've been DJing. And also continuously giving us great music, and also you producing music has made you stand out above others, right? And also big shout out to you and DJ Dave C, because you guys are also, I guess, a track source that you guys put your music, and your numbers are climbing on certain tracks that you actually had. Out of how many? There was a over 100 people, 100 DJs, and for you to be able to come up to number 13, to number 12, that means a lot.
Wow.
Right? That means a lot. I mean,
Congratulations.
and that's why I would say that you deserve not just the shirt, but you deserve our, the accomplishment that you made and appreciation from all over the world. This is for you, sir.
Thank you, brother.
All right, man.
I don't even
Yes,
think
sir, Papa.
I don't even think I'm gonna wear it. This is gonna get hung up on the wall.
Man, congratulations, man. Congratulations. Man, we are at the 1 o'clock hour as well. And what I have to say is this. We got a surprise for you guys. Yes. And before we get off the air, but we do have a surprise for you. And we're going to switch over to Mixcloud in a few minutes. So we have a 30-minute set that he's going to actually DJ on Mixcloud for us, right? And I want you guys to make sure that you go over. If we could put that Mixcloud link up so everybody can actually see that. Yep. So yeah, Mixcloud. So that's his. So yeah, let's put up his social media. So keep his social media there. Yeah. So that's mixcloud.com/naytrixx75. That is his Mixcloud. Let's put up his Instagram. He has an Instagram as well too. So it's Nay_Trixx, and then we have one more, which I think is Facebook as well. Nay.Trixx.75. So you can actually find out more of his mixing everywhere he's going to be. But we're going to put up ours for Mixcloud. This is us. So now you can actually go over to Mixcloud right now and then click on Rico No Suave Show and just put that whole link in there, right? And make sure you click on follow because we're going to be going live shortly as soon as we end off the show. But once again, my man, thank you for being on the show.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Man, it was great.
Such
Everybody,
a
round of applause for Nay Trixx, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Papa.
Papa, do you still want me to debut that?
Oh, we are. Because
Okay.
we're going to move up. Because right now we're on all platforms, right?
Okay.
So YouTube and everybody. But we're going to go strictly to Mixcloud. Okay. I want everybody
You
to
too,
go over
Rhonda.
to Mixcloud so they can actually see and listen to your music. Okay. So we're going to give you guys at least 5 minutes. But I'm going to be playing some music to get you guys started. But we're going to bring it back to me. Once again, put your hands together for Nay Trixx, everybody. All right, so, we're going to end off the show because next week, everybody, we have Elena Diaz from the law offices of McInt Law will be here with us. We're going to be talking about, we're going to talk about immigration. We're going to be talking about, how she became an attorney and lawyer as well. So we want you guys to make sure that you be with us next week, as always, because next week also is the birthday celebration for Rico No Suave. That is me. So we're going to have a great time next week, everybody. So make sure you get your shot glasses ready. I don't know if I'm going to get drunk on the show next week. We'll see. We'll see. All right, everybody. So I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Rico No Suave Show. You guys have a great day and make sure you switch off and come on to the Mixcloud as we get ready for our man, DJ Nay Trixx on the Wheels of Steel as we end off the show just like this.